We have morals on this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio. We may or may not have the mandate to go with it, but what the hell? Let's sample whiskey and talk about it. I am your host, Kevon Bordelon, and Implicit Bias Radio. Yes, we are back on the air. We will have Crescent City conversations. We will have libations, which will be liberal. Nothing else will, but that's okay because Implicit Bias Radio is now ready to roll. So here we go. Before we really kind of get into the whiskey, we were actually maybe concussed with a conundrum this week. And that problem is this. We have to make a decision about the role of the social contract we were born into and how we should continue it. The social contract that I'm speaking of is our tacit agreement as Americans that we give our government the powers that it has. This is where the problem comes in, however. See, we've had a bunch of people who claim that government needs to be the solution to all of society's ills in America. After all, the list of things that people say are messed up in the government and that they should fix is lengthy. Why don't we actually go through a couple of them? So how about this? Government should pay for my food. Government should pay for my housing. Government should pay for my cell phone. Government should pay for my doctor's visits. Government should pay for my education. Government should pay for my defense. Government should pay for my police. Government should pay for my infrastructure. Government should pay for my retirement. Government should pay for basically all those things that people who aren't citizens of the country want. They should pay for that too. Government should also pay for all the things for the people who not can't contribute, but won't contribute. Now, this is where we actually separate the mandate from the morals. And what's all that about? You know, I'm just so glad you asked. See, the question isn't should we take care of our neighbors? This is the morals. Should we take care of our brothers, our sisters? Yes, we absolutely should. Charity is one of the prime virtues of the Catholic Church and Christianity. We are supposed to be giving. We should be as the widow who gave the very literal last money that she had. That should be our individual moral fiber. But that is not and was never intended to be a government mandate. That's the problem with all these people who say government spending, paying for everyone else's stuff should happen. To put it plainly, government is not and should not be in the business of charity. That's why they are two different words. Government is supposed to govern, not be a charitable organization. See, when government is involved, it's no longer actually charity. When government is involved, then it's theft. The government literally takes from one citizen and gives it to the other, whether the victim of that theft likes it or not. Charity is very different from government. First, charity or giving comes from those who genuinely want to make the world a better place in their hearts. It comes from love. It's given willingly. We should be charitable. But unfortunately, too many of us claim to be charitable, claim to be giving, but want us to do it through government. And I want you to think about that. We've got people talking about all the money that needs to go overseas. We've got people claiming that, people are dying because of cuts in government spending. We've got people saying that the government should be spending even more than we are today, spending more on student loans, medical procedures, housing, and living expenses. Funny thing is, these people, they're actually serious. What they don't tell you, though, is that they don't want to fund it. They want us, you, to fund all that stuff. They want you on board with their crazy ass wish list because people who advocate for government becoming charity almost never put their money where their mouth is. Want proof? Here's some proof. Hollywood likes to tell us how important it is for each of us to give money to this cause, that cause. Their requests, and guess what? They never end. Notice they might be putting a little of their money towards these things. Sure, they might give a bit here or there, but they still turn around and go back to their McMansions in Hollywood, get on their private jets, relaxing behind their walls, security guards, and security systems. In other words, they want their cause to be forced upon everyone else. They cry that what's happening is immoral. What's actually immoral is their attempt to create a government mandate. Their demand for government handouts is a demand to tell you how to be charitable. If you don't agree with it, they want the government to forcibly take it from you. If we don't want to give to a particular cause, well, the government gets to make that decision for us. They get to go into your paycheck, skim off whatever it is they decide to take, and give it to something or someone else. This is why government doesn't work trying to be charitable or a charitable organization. Because as soon as the government figures out what it can take from the populace in the name of charity, government does what government does. It overreaches. This is just one of the reasons why Jesus uttered those famous words and that retort, "Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's." Jesus recognized that those who run government are flawed just like everybody else. They have plans which are truly never actually charitable. Those government plans, well, they're the plans of men, not the true charitable will of God, which wants us to have and to give and to take care of our brothers and sisters. So in today's world of 24/7 media, how do we know if someone really cares about the causes? Well, the saints of the church actually paved the way. They gave away everything. They've given till it hurts. They don't just preach, they practice. And the last thing they ever did was ask the government to do it for them. Look, we're all trying to be Catholic and Christian on this show. We'll try to over the next 2 hours. We try to give everything we can. We've got guests in the next 2 hours. We're going to have cocktails and cocktail hour. We've got the stories that you may not get in the legacy media. We've got your mandate. We understand it from you, and it's this. It's to stick around for the rest of Implicit Bias Radio. Cheers. A very special weekly whiskey segment on this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon. We're coming to you from the Mr. Lester's top secret podcast lair. And man, have we got a packed show for you this week. Going to be tons of fun, lots of whiskey news, and even big news from Mr. Lester Steakhouse down at Cypress Bayou Casino, who, yes, they are still running $5 pours of Blanton's. $5 pours of Blanton's, Caleb. And the really interesting part, there was something that went after that. Do you remember what we had to say?
While it lasts.
They ran out the first weekend.
Hell yes.
And they got more. That's the big news.
Even better.
They got more. So when you think about, oh, I want to go down and get a pour of something special, which, by the way, I had someone quote me like $40 for a pour of Blanton's in Lafayette this week. I was like, that is obscene.
That was not a friend.
That is offensive. That is offensive.
That is definitely a foe.
That is definitely a foe. So let me introduce you to the crew who's here this week. You've already heard and seen Caleb Morse, the Rustic Renegade. Looks like you went down to All-American Barber and got a fresh cut today.
Sure. If y'all had seen me before this, I literally, so last week I was out and my beard was much longer. And the first day on the racetrack, when I got back to the room and I couldn't clean my beard enough, I was like, this is horrible. So when I got home, because I had no clippers there, I took it down to an inch. Nick looked at it today and goes, were you drinking?
So look, just nice to know that you are apparently indulging in manscaping, which I didn't want to know about. All right, let's go to the bar and let's talk about our guests who are at the bar. We're going to start on your right of your screen if you are watching us, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook. We're going to introduce you to, he's a regular, he's a member of the OG crew. He is Louisiana's only certified master tobacconist. He is Rene Girard. And Rene, you already swapped out. We got a lot of whiskey this week, don't we?
Yeah, we got the mother load dropped on us. It's amazing.
It is amazing. And I know that one of your favorites is right in front of you.
Yes.
You've been eyeing that bottle of Larceny. I'm going to have to make sure by knife point or gun point that it stays here in the TSPL,
well,
correct?
I won't touch it, but just make sure I'm on the show when you sample that one.
Who said it's not happening on this show?
Oh, it's tonight we're doing. Oh, well. Okay.
I said you said we got the mother load, so we might as well.
Okay.
I warned everybody on the text string.
Yep.
Drunkle,
you
we don't need him showing up and driving home, Renee.
No.
Don't need him showing up and driving home.
You got put Uber on speed dial.
Yeah, we will put Uber on speed dial. So, everybody on this show gets a nickname, and I kind of have a feeling that the person who's sitting at the bar with Renee might already have a nickname because Nicole Dornack, you might now be the motherload on the show because when you showed up and literally brought a Yeti ice chest full of whiskey, I was like, oh my goodness, look at this.
And then a Yeti full of food.
Yes. And
priorities.
So and you knew, without even knowing, you knew, because first of all, thank you for listening to the show.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
When we started
whiskey's
talking,
what drew me in.
And when we
driving across
yeah.
one day, and I'm like, who are these dudes with the whiskey?
Well, so let me explain who Nicole is. So if you're in the New Orleans listening area, if you're watching in New Orleans, Nicole Dornack, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Dornack's Grocery in Metairie, which if you're buying whiskey in New Orleans, in the New Orleans area, it's the place.
It is the place to be.
You guys have, how big is your liquor section?
The liquor section, well, it's about a quarter of the store, and the store itself is probably about 50,000 square feet. So it's probably about
12,000
maybe
square
about
feet.
10,000 square feet. But then you got to remember, through the store,
Sprinkles.
there's sprinkles everywhere. We call that real estate.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, if Jody sees an empty spot, it's like, oh wait, we need to put something there. That's you know. So yeah, there's lots of Easter eggs around the store.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
outstanding.
What's really fun is on a Saturday morning when he puts the real eggs out, the golden eggs.
I know the ones you're talking about.
And then they pop on Facebook, and then and you can always tell who's coming in looking for whatever somebody just got posted. It's really funny. They walk in and they're like, and I'm like, you're looking for bourbon, aren't you?
Yep, they
I've been
absolutely
run
are.
over with carts, told, how did you pick that barrel? Women don't belong in bourbon. I'm like, excuse me? Well, then give it back to me. You don't have to buy it.
If you don't like it, that's fine.
That's right. If you don't like it, I'll sell it to somebody else.
And if you want proof that women belong in bourbon, you and my wife were sitting outside
Yes.
having a conversation right before we got started. And that conversation was as good as pretty much anybody I've ever heard have a conversation about bourbon and whiskey.
Well, thank you.
So let's dive into what you have brought and what we are starting with this week.
Okay.
If you want to tell us about the offering that we are tasting right now in our first weekly whiskey segment, of which there might be multiples on this show.
Yes. All right. So this is the Round Table Dark Arts barrel pick that we did. This is the Round Table 2. We have 4 of them. I have one, and all right, Larceny is one of them, and then the Elijah Craig is the first, and kind of fitting that the Elijah Craig is the first because he was like the father of bourbon.
Yeah.
And the Round Table is homage to my husband's grandfather who started Dornack's altogether. Round Table is where he would sit. That table in the cafeteria is where he
Yes.
would sit to conduct all his business, friends, family, fuss at people, whatever he had to do. So that's what the Round Table is all about. So for Father's Day, we did an expose of those. And so it's the Elijah Craig's the first, this Dark Arts, the Larceny's the third, and then we have a fourth one coming that I think, because I have 3 barrels coming,
Okay.
and I think it's an Elijah Craig, so it's kind of bookending.
Yeah.
With starting with
Very good.
And I really don't even mean to always like, Elijah Craig has kind of been around forever, but
Yeah.
it's just good.
It is.
I mean,
It's very good. So let's talk about this. What
Okay.
made you pick this particular Dark Arts? What jumped out at you?
all right, so usually it's myself and Jason, and then there was another guy, and we always go for we like that hot, like right off the bat,
Yep.
like a little hot finish, like first, and then when the second sip is a little less, like we like that burn in the beginning.
So that's awesome. I'm
And
gonna
I was
ask.
picking all the bottles. He's like, you realize like these are all pretty high. I'm like,
I'm gonna
yeah, I'm
ask.
sorry.
Do you have a skirt Renee can borrow? Because Renee doesn't like the high proof. Renee's always like, I don't like high proof. but
Oh,
I
come
have-
on, Renee.
I
You'll be
have
all
a
right.
feeling, and I kind of want to jump to Renee. I have a feeling Renee is really going to like this particular one. So Renee, I'm curious, this Dark Art, so it is a port cask finish. I'm curious as to what you think about this.
It's hot right off the bat. That first sip, a little overpowering to me because I'm not a whiskey drinker. But
Oh, please.
But like Nicole said, the second one is like, oh, it calmed down, and the third one, oh, it's calmed down a little bit more. So now, yeah, it's drinkable, and we put some water in it, and it didn't work.
The water,
The
so
water
you didn't,
did
So
not-
this is interesting.
The water did not work. It popped it back out again to where it's just too strong. So I'm gonna have to pour some more in there to water down the water.
Okay.
Bourbon down the
Yeah.
Yes, bourbon down the water, and then I like this one. It's
Okay.
I can do this one.
So what's really interesting, and Renee, we can go back to Nicole for this. The first sip I got, I just got that beautiful velvet kind of sweeter finish
Yeah.
that comes with a port cask.
Yep.
I knew that it was going to be a little bit higher proof. I'm going to guess this is probably around 120. I don't know. I'm curious to see where it hits. Caleb's looking at me like I don't know, I'm close or whatever. But when I actually added the water and whiskey, I like what the water and whiskey has done. And I know I'm the minority with this one. But it gave it a little bit more of an edge that offset the sweet for me.
You're a little high.
I'm a little high on the proof.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes well.
Yeah.
You want me to say it or
You can go ahead and say it.
113?
113. Okay, so I'm not that far off.
No.
It
I mean,
seems
if-
like our sweets. I'm sorry, Caleb.
No, that's fine. If like 7 or 8's not that far. I mean,
We're
exaggeration.
right there within a what you call it 10. What do you call a section of 10 numbers?
The 10th.
Yeah, there you go. But no, we always. It seems everything we pick is always 110,
Yeah.
115. You know, we're not low proofers.
No, we are definitely proof hounds here on the show as well, pretty much except for Renee.
Yeah.
Renee's a proof princess. So,
Aw.
oh, that's a new
Come
one.
on now.
That's a new one. That
Uh-huh.
one,
That's
that
a
one
good
might
Pee-pee.
stick.
A good one.
Okay, so Caleb, I'm curious. The nose that knows
It's
And-
not hot right out the gate. It's
and
not.
does not particularly usually like pork
I
barrel
don't
finish.
normally like port finish. This is different.
Okay.
So like Renee's saying it's hot out the gate. No, it's hot out the gate. Like when you come home and your wife's got your barbecue grill going and she's wearing just an apron. And you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's the kind of hot that it is.
yeah.
It doesn't burn. On the nose, it was weird. I got like a campfire, open fire roasted plum on the nose. It's got a dark fruit and a little bit of smokiness. The only thing I can liken it to is a campfire roasted plum. That's literally what I wrote
So I'm
down.
just going to ask, how many times have you roasted
Roasted
plums
Never.
over campfires?
Never.
Okay, fair.
And I
That
put
makes
question
sense.
marks after it.
But on the next barbecue, there's going to
Yeah,
be some
yeah.
plums.
So and then on the taste, all right, you have to follow me on this one.
Oh, here we go.
When I was much younger, we had a guy at church I called Grandpa Hugh. He was like my adopted grandpa at church.
Okay.
And Grandpa Hugh always had pocket candy. And if you have the old man at your church that carries around not just Werther's Originals, but those old butterscotch dish like
I
discs,
know the ones you're talking about.
and they would get warm throughout the day, because he's been walking around doing everything else, and they're in his little pocket in his sport coat. And he would give me these little butterscotches, and that's the exact flavor I get. Is like a body temperature warm butterscotch candy.
Stuck to the cellophane.
Yes. And what's crazy is that's all the flavor I got. Once I found it, like I got nothing else but like a warm butterscotch until I added the water.
Okay.
Right. And so the memory for this makes me want it without the water. With the water, I got a little more pepper and I got cinnamon. I got cinnamon and dark cherry once we added the water to it. It came out of nowhere because I didn't even get a hint of it beforehand. All I got was that warm butterscotch. And the moment I added two drops of water to it, cinnamon out the gate, then there's my butterscotch, and then like black or dark cherry.
I absolutely got a very sweet dark cherry, almost like a black cherry soda.
Yeah, yeah.
So Cheerwine, if you've ever had it, it almost reminded me a little bit of Cheerwine the first sip. Once I added the water and whiskey, to your point, I started getting more layers to it. I started getting a little bit more brightness on the front of the palate. And then you got those beautiful dark flavors and the sweet. What I like about this is the viscosity. When I said velvety, it has a velvety mouthfeel to it. It just sits on the palate, on the tongue.
It lingers just long enough.
As one of our favorite characters would say in the movies, this is beautiful. What is this, velvet? I mean, that's just what I get off of this. And as it lingers, it just makes you want another sip and another sip and another sip,
Well,
which
I
could be
want
really
another sip,
dangerous.
and I'm out, and you told me to pace myself, so
Yes,
I
well-
can't pour another sip.
If your idea of pacing yourself is we are like 7 minutes into the show or the weekly whiskey segment and you are already done with a 3-finger pour, I mean,
Wow.
pace yourself means pace yourself. It doesn't mean chug one glass and just wait for another.
So just grab another pink.
Yeah, I'm
Well, I
I'm
mean,
just
you got to
consistent.
realize he missed last week.
Oh, he's
yeah,
playing
yeah.
catch up.
Right. Now, the stories he told us about why he was out, what he did, well, he doesn't need to catch up, but
No, he's way ahead.
yeah. Yeah.
He's way ahead. Okay, so we need to start thinking about number one, where we're going to rate this on the Morse Whiskey rating code, and we're going to play What Would You Pay? So we actually have somebody new here on the show. I know, Nicole, that you've listened to the show. So do you understand, first of all, the Morse Whiskey rating code? You got to eat that microphone.
I understand that, but I don't think I can play What Would You Pay?
You
'Cause
can't.
I know.
Yeah, I
You
think
are going
to- cheating.
You have an advantage.
I'd be cheating.
Actually, here's how it's going to work.
Do you know?
You are going to determine and
Yes.
tell us what the price is, which means I get to play. I don't always get to play.
Okay. All right. There
So-
you go. I'm Bob Barker.
There you go. So for the Morse Whiskey rating code, first of all, for the uninitiated to the show. Red, I wouldn't drink it even if it was free. Yellow, I would only drink it if it was free and somebody else was buying. Green is I would absolutely buy this. Blue is I would seek this out. This is a unicorn bottle. This is one of those that is just so special, you're not going to find it again. So Renee, we're going to start with you. Where do you rate this on the Morse Whiskey rating code?
Well, the way you talked about the colors it's going to be a blue because it is a unicorn. You're not going to find this again.
So I mean flavor. I don't just mean is it a once in a lifetime.
Stop trying to influence him.
I'm not trying to influence
He's
him.
influencing.
I am making sure that
if you're
he's
gonna
clear.
influence, I need money in my palm. Influence.
When did you get into politics?
Yeah. Look, I know a lot of politicians. I'm learning. I'm learning.
You've learned from the best,
yes.
Renee.
Yes. But I blew.
Okay. And then what would you pay?
I'm thinking 95.
So there is an age statement on the bottle. I see it's 7 years.
Yep.
That is correct. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure, just
Yeah.
so we all knew, because we all know the year rule basically when
Right.
you think about it. But when you also think about finishing in another cask and things of that nature, right? We know kind of what that looks like. So, all right, Nicole, I'm gonna let you rate this, even though we know what you're gonna rate this, or we think we know what you'd rate this.
Yeah.
If you don't rate it a blue, I'd be shocked.
Yeah. I mean, of course she's going to rate it good. She picked it to start with. I mean, come on.
No, there are some picks that, once they come and, but no, I'd give it a blue.
Yeah.
I'd definitely give it a blue. And I would definitely pay what it is.
Okay. So- matter of fact, you did pay what it is.
Matter of fact, I
Correct.
did.
Yeah. All right.
I paid for it to get here, and then I paid for it to get there.
Do the Rustic Renegade, this dark arts
So I wrote down a blue out the gate.
Oh.
Like
for a port
for
cask
a port
finish.
cask finish. I didn't want to or anything else, but this is just delicious. I mean, I killed my glass like it was nothing. I would buy this every time I saw it. So phenomenal job. And then I'm so happy that no one chose my number because I wrote 85.99.
$85.99.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a blue to me, no doubt. A port cask finish is very difficult to do correctly. And where I'm going to go with this is we have had some port cask finishes on this show that have been done correctly and are absolute blues. I don't believe that this is going to end up in the price range of some of those. So if you've ever had any of the Four Gates,
I knew you were going there.
and you've had some of their finishes, they finish and they blend, they finish and they blend. And look, it's delicious. Four Gate stuff is delicious. If you want to try
You're stalling.
Four Gate level stuff that's not at a Four Gate level price, because Four Gate goes for $199.99, basically a bottle. That's kind of their starting point. What would I pay? This is at that level.
I'm waiting for it
This
still.
is at that level. So what I'm going to say is, I'm going to say this is probably 130, 140, 130 easy on this bottle is where I would put it. It drinks like a $200 bottle. That's what I'm going to say. Nicole, who's closest to the hole on the what would you pay?
So is it
It is, doesn't matter. Can be over, under,
What's the price?
$99.99?
$99.99. So
$99.99.
So
I can paint
Renee,
that car.
you Renee, get to wear the What Would You Pay Championship belt chain presented by Box Drop of Lafayette. Renee gets to wear it for the rest of the night as we record this show. The rest of the morning, if you're listening in New Orleans, Monroe, Lafayette, we look forward to seeing you as hour 2 is always more fun with the weekly whiskeys we got. The next couple segments are going to get real interesting. Don't go away on Implicit Bias Radio. K&B has already given us trouble here in the Mr. Lester's Top Secret podcast lair. We rotate him in, and what does he do? Grant Galata starts giving me garbage like the minute he sits down. And of course, it's probably because he's like 5 weekly whiskeys in already.
Just 2, thank you very
Oh,
much.
just 2. Yeah, sure.
Oh, and I got my own introduction.
Yeah,
Hi,
you
guys.
did. Yeah, you did. Of course you did.
Good to be back. Good to have Kayla back.
It is fantastic to have you back. We have a great crew here in the Mr. Lester's TSPL this week on Implicit Bias Radio. We've got the Rustic Renegade, who is now back from F1, which was interesting because, Caleb, I have to say it, I'm so proud of you that you did ask and somehow managed not to offend Garth Brooks by asking him if he was a serial killer.
Look, inquisitive mind wants to know.
Yeah,
So,
but you did it in a tactful way.
I really did. I was like, hey, and then just kind of spit it out. So,
How many people did you kill?
and he was like, well, if I told you that, I wouldn't be free anymore. I was like, "Yeah, valid. So,
And then we have a special guest in from our New Orleans market, Nicole Dornack of Dornack's Grocery Store right there on Veterans Highway. And I'm going to date myself here for both K&B and Nicole. It's right next to the Fun Arcade on Veterans Highway, which I know is not the Fun Arcade
No.
anymore. That is so disappointing.
It's a vet now or a physical therapy place.
Oh.
And then International Bike Store is gone too. Remember the bike shop?
Yeah.
That's cool. Everybody got their first bike from there or Joe's on
I'm just-
Tulane Avenue.
No, there was the Schwinn dealership on Causeway.
Oh yeah, that one too.
Yep,
Yeah.
right there. That's
I
where
was
mine
from
came
Lakeview,
from.
so we didn't go.
Yeah, you didn't go that far into
We-
Metairie.
and then my great grandparents, when they came from Italy, they owned the house across the street from Joe's Bike Shop.
Okay.
On Tulane.
Yep. No, look, I miss Fun Arcade. Miss Fun Arcade because it was that one
It was
place.
fun.
It was. I mean, NBA Jam literally was just, it was a college ritual. It was just tons of fun. Speaking of rituals, we're going to get into more weekly whiskey, more bourbons here. So, Grant, you've had both now. You've had the Dark Arts, correct? And now you're having the Peerless, which is sitting here next to me, just absolutely peerless.
Yeah, I mean, just started in on the Peerless, but the Dark Arts, I mean, that was to steal something from Sam, R.I.P.
Yeah, Sam, rest in peace.
It's funny because the last couple of times I was on, we had some ryes, and the rye, obviously a little bit hot right off the bat. But this one, the little higher proof is I guess, what gave it its hot right off the bat. But it wasn't
it's not
unpleasantly hot.
It's not hot.
No,
right
that's
off the
what I'm
bat.
saying. It was such a smooth hot, and then once y'all started talking port, I realized, look, that the port cast just kind of smoothed it out a little bit. But I got a little bit of oak, a little bit of chocolate. It was very, very delicious.
I do get so the Peerless right here that we've now. I do get chocolate on this.
Okay,
I
yeah.
absolutely do get chocolate on this.
I'm
now that
just
you say
I'm
that.
just starting on this one.
This is when you said little hot. Neither of them I found were hot. This one, that first sip is just it's smooth. It's not necessarily velvet because it's not thick on the palate, but it is just so smooth, and you get those wonderful
It's not
bourbon
chocolate.
flavors. I get like a chocolate caramel.
No,
yeah,
no, you don't.
yeah.
No,
Oh,
you don't.
what is it, Caleb? It's Mama's burnt
Nope,
sugar
nope.
that she was trying to. Come on,
Whenever we were kids,
it's Maui's, whatever
and
she made.
you wanted root beer, right? And they had the little yellow jar of the root beer concentrate. Who is it? Zatarans?
Yeah,
That is Zatarans concentrate root beer.
The sarsaparilla.
Yep, it is a sarsaparilla.
I don't get that deep root
oh
beer
my
flavor
God,
on it.
I do.
I don't, but
Oh.
I can understand that. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but I get just smooth, light caramel on this. It is just so delicious. And again, this is probably because Peerless likes to go into the barrel somewhere around like 107, I think, if I remember right.
Much closer this time.
And
much
it's
closer.
probably going to be 109 on the
Ooh,
proof.
there you go, sir.
Because you
Did
get
you
a
look at the
couple of
bottle?
points. No, I did not.
It
But
was
Peerless,
109 point something.
I also know where Peerless's wheelhouse is. And that's kind of their wheelhouse on proof. When they do it really well, that's about where it is. And this sits so smooth, so well that, man, it's almost a crown prince of bourbon when you drink this, because Peerless's special stuff, their picks, they are absolutely special. Speaking of crown princes, I believe there's a crown prince who is, it was never a crown prince, but technically he was Prince Edward.
He was a duke.
He was a duke. Okay, so he was duke. I thought he was labeled Prince Edward at one time and then
maybe
became
so.
a duke because he was not in succession line for the throne. It's something like that.
Wait, I thought it was Andrew.
No, it is Andrew. I'm sorry.
Andrew.
It is Andrew. Prince Andrew.
Come on.
Prince Edward.
I thought you knew what you were talking about over there.
every now and then, the gray hair gets to the brain
No,
and
I'm
it just
messing with
goes
you.
sideways. No, but
Yeah,
you're correct. It is
Prince
Prince Andrew.
Andrew.
So big news this week. I mean, Virginia Guffrey's book came out this week where she documented everything. And yes, we have not talked about he who shall not be named on this show in a while. But Jeffrey Epstein's back in the news because now Prince Andrew is no longer holding any title. He's
He
not
is
a
now
prince.
just Andrew.
Yeah. So
Plain old Andrew.
the story here for those who want the background, and please don't believe us on this, please go look this up, was that his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein was a relationship of leverage and benefits. That Epstein was leveraging the benefits that Andrew got. And unfortunately, it was of an absolutely sick nature.
Did you see his crisis managers talk?
No.
So Duke Andrews' crisis managers going through.
Just
his thing.
Andrew.
Well, yeah, Andy.
At least I didn't call him Prince Albert. It's a whole different
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
It's a whole different thing.
They look a lot alike. So, Andy there, his crisis manager, is talking about how he went on air and he talked to all these people. He went to the BBC and he's like, they don't know each other. It's not that kind of thing. It's very professional. Blah 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 blah. He goes, and then I find out I was lied to. And this video came out before the news came out.
Now that you say that, I do seem to remember something about that. And here's what I find really unique about this. This is his crisis manager.
Mm-hmm.
This might as well be your attorney. This is the guy that you have to tell the truth to in order for him to actually manage said crisis.
Yeah, but people like that don't tell the truth. It's that simple. So to him, everything he spun was the truth because it was all lies anyway.
Right. Exactly.
So you said you had an opinion on this one.
Well, yeah. I mean, anybody who is involved in anything like that should be stripped of everything.
And let's be clear,
And then
this was
tarred and
kids.
feathered at the square.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, look what they did to the witches. Let's do it to the pedophiles.
yeah.
Yes.
And that's what makes this above and beyond. Grant, you want to go ahead?
Well, Andy, as I like to call him, I think what is it? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. They've been taken up a little bit. You know, I'm sure Andy's been real happy with all of the stuff that they've been in the news about. So
Yeah.
this was a long time coming for Andy. It really was. I mean, his name has been in that mix for quite some time with this. So now, if it's coming to fruition, and it's time for him to pay the piper, it's been a long time coming for him.
You know what, Grant? That is a great point because you
get
you
to
can,
ring the bell?
you can ring the bell. Yeah. I get to ring the bell. This is like I get something from the prize box. Grant's like back in kindergarten. I get to ring the bell.
She's nuts.
But you and I, when we were thinking about doing this show, and you and I were having conversations around some of the things going on in the background, and I'm not talking 2, 3, 4 years ago. I'm talking 7, 8 years ago. I'm talking 2017, 2018. This information was out there on Andy.
Right. Yeah, his name's been synonymous with Epstein. I mean, because
Oh.
I mean, it's the most high-profile name in
Oh.
a list of full of high-profile names. You're talking royalty.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I don't know that high profile because I think if you ask the average, and I'm going to stay just in the contiguous 48, if you ask just in the United States, yes, some of the names that have been associated with the Epstein list are significantly more well known. I mean, remember, it was reported, again, please don't believe us on this, that Bill Gates' wife divorced him because of his relationship with Epstein. Bill Gates is a big name. In the US, most people, Prince Andrew, Prince Albert, they're all the same thing. In Europe, Andy is a big name. Right? So,
Right. Agreed.
but I will agree with you that he has been synonymous. He has been one of the first people named when Epstein was outed at all. He was one of the first. And the fact that people haven't been able to put that together and start to really look into this and aren't, I hate to say it, but curious about this in some way, shape, or
Yeah,
form.
well, it's just because of that fact, though. Like you said, I mean, he's from royalty, and it used to be a big following with Charles and Di and all of that. People paid attention to that, but yeah, you're correct. There's so many big names wrapped up in it with Hollywood and with.
Hold on. You got to grab the
Well,
microphone.
and like
I'm sorry. They threw the big name out there like royalty because, like, if royalty can do it, anybody can do it. Like, it's okay. Like, it was like a,
I
like
might take it a step further.
Well, you take it a step
And
further.
here's where it's not just if royalty can do it, it's that royalty is continually doing this.
Right,
It is almost
right,
a
right.
part of being royalty.
Yeah, they
I
do what
think
they
is
want.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they can.
Well, they can get away with it
Yeah,
because nobody will
'cause
tell.
they're in charge.
Well, as George Carlin said, it's one big club.
that's right.
And we ain't in it.
You know,
Nope.
I just got
Yeah.
upset because I was thinking maybe we would see something, and I looked. And did you know in 1998 they abolished the death penalty in the UK? And then capital punishment for murder was abolished in 1969. And the last executions in the UK were 1964, and then beheading was abolished in 1747.
Well, here's the bigger one. Do you know
I had
what
high hopes.
do you know what law has been proposed in the US in multiple locations?
Public executions.
No, the banning of public
Oh,
execution
shoot.
for crimes against children.
No, that should 100% be
Oh,
public.
that should be actually should be done.
Look, as a Catholic, I got a difficult time today with the death penalty.
Yeah,
I struggle with it because the human side of me says exactly what you say, which is, look, you do something to a kid, at some point you have forfeited your right to be here. The Catholic side of me says, you know what? That's not our call. Natural life, natural birth to natural death, we can mitigate for those things in a lot
It's
of
natural death. When someone loses their head, they die.
ways. Grant,
Look, just
when somebody hurts a child.
go ahead, Grant.
look. Just here's what I say: just put them all on pay-per-view and give the proceeds to the victim's family.
Oh, you'd make a
And I
killing.
say, and I say that somewhat,
Give them bread
somewhat
and
in jest.
circuses.
Yep, you would make a killing, no doubt. Walker, what? You haven't even talked this evening as
I
we
haven't
record
been
this show.
spoken to
Well, there's a reason, which is why are you giving me the finger then?
because time is up.
Like your shorts.
Ring the bell. We'll be back. More Implicit Bias Radio, end of hour one coming up. We've been waiting on you, Walker.
No, I've been waiting on you.
No, we've been
Yeah,
waiting on you.
you.
No,
Pouring drinks.
no, we are whiskey tasting, Walker. That's two different things.
Maybe if you were drinking whiskey, you wouldn't be waiting.
Correct. Yes.
Still have to wait.
This is Implicit Bias Radio, last segment of Hour 1. And if you think Hour 1 is fun, just wait till Hour 2, especially this week. Oh, my goodness. We have a great crew here in the Mr. Lester's TSPL where, yes, through the month of October, as long as supplies last, Mr. Lester Steakhouse, the only restaurant between New Orleans and Houston that holds a 5-star rating. They are selling Blanton's. If you tell them you want an implicit bias pour, $5 pours of Blanton's. Like I said, they ran out the first week, which is only a Thursday, Friday, Saturday in the restaurant. I want you to think about that. They did get more.
Look,
so
I'm going to be there Saturday night, and my intent is to have plenty of Blandons.
I'm sure you will have
I'll see
plenty.
what else they have too.
There you go. All right. That is the Rustic Renegade at the bar. We have Nicole Dornack from Dornack's in New Orleans from our New Orleans market. And we have Louisiana's only certified master tobacconist, Renee Girard of Piper's Haven, is here with us. So, Renee, you got a chance to taste that Peerless. I'm curious
Yes.
as to what you think.
I'll be honest with you. I like it. I think a little bit better than the Dark Arts.
Really?
I
You
find
gave that
it-
a blue.
Yeah, I find it smoother. It doesn't have that, the
Slap you in the face.
yeah, it's just a bite. It's I mean in my world it would be called a tongue bite. And
That
cigars-
sounds like
that-
it could be fun.
Yeah, that
no,
sounds.
no, it's not.
Is that like a
pleasurable.
wedding night kind of thing? or is that
No. When you smoke too many cigars or pipes too fast, you get what's called a tongue bite. It's a burn.
Okay.
It's not very pleasurable. But no, it isn't. And Caleb thinks it is, but no, it ain't.
I just never
Not
thought
that
I would
kind.
hear you.
Maybe the kind that you're thinking of might be, but the kind that I'm talking about ain't. But it's just a lot smoother whiskey. I don't even know what the proof.
Well, it's a sweet mash. Too.
Hold on. So, go ahead, Renee.
It's a sweet
I mean,
mash.
Nicole.
So
Yeah.
a
Oh,
sweet
it's
mash. Yeah.
Okay,
So
it's
a sweet mash. To me, they always are a little more mellow because if you don't know about sweet
Yep.
mash versus sour mash, you start with it's like a sourdough starter for a
Right.
sour mash. So
Correct.
you're kind of putting that bitterness.
So for a
Different.
So for a sour mash, here's what I want you to think about. In order to start fermentation, you have to have something that has already started to
Right.
basically ferment.
Right.
So what they do is with a sour mash is they take some of a
They
previous
take about
mash.
1/3.
Yep. And they put that
it
into the
to
new
the new
mash.
one, yeah.
And that's what creates a sour mash mix as opposed to a fresh mash.
A sweet mash.
sweet
is
mash, yeah.
all brand new
Yep.
corn, and that's why it's a little pricier too because it
Interesting.
costs a little bit more to make it.
And Peerless, again, as we've said, their stuff that's special is really, truly special. I mean, it is just off the charts. If you are looking for artisan done whiskey, Peerless is a great example of that. They don't put out as much stuff as some of the big distilleries,
1,500 cases about is what they do.
which is next
It's
to
about
nothing.
1,500 cases out of that little, yeah.
So-
Whereas they're doing like thousands out of
Yeah.
Buffalo Trace and everybody else.
I was about to say,
they're
if you do
like
the
a
math,
boutique.
yeah,
bourbon.
if you do the math, 1,500 cases is 9,000 bottles a year,
Yeah.
which is nothing for a distillery. But their stuff is really, really good. Okay, so Renee, we brought you in because we figured that given the demographics at the No Kings protests, that you were there.
Oh no, I was working. I would have gone, but no, I was working. Unlike some of those other people that I guess that don't have a job, I had a job. I had to go work.
Yeah, we know you're there. It was interesting to see the No Kings protests and all this stuff going on. And let's start here. The number that was supposed to happen. Anybody remember what the number that was predicted of people who were supposed
Oh,
to show up
so-
across the country?
10 million, 7 to
Seven-
10 million something.
7 million was the number they
Yeah,
were going with,
yeah.
right? Which is amazing because they literally 7 million. And they really believe that if they keep saying 7 million, people would believe that 7 million people actually showed up.
Well, and I'm sure all the news media, from what I've heard, the news media in the different locations were touting that, oh yeah, 7 million. We had a total of 7. We had, 100,000 here and 200,000 there and 300,000. And
They just kept adding 100,000 to the
Right.
actual number of people they
Yeah,
had.
you just
And
put
if you
move
sh-
that comma. That's all you got to do.
yeah, and you take a picture of the area and you're going, dude, there's like 20 people. There's 20.
There are dozens of us here.
There's
There are
10s.
dozens of us here.
Tens and tens
Yes.
of us.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
And it's until you see what 100,000 people look like in front of you,
Yeah,
it's hard to fathom
yeah.
just how many people that is.
Yeah.
That is acres and acres of
Well,
people.
it's like a Superdome and a half.
so, well, think about it this
Yeah.
way. It's Tiger Stadium. Tiger Stadium holds 103,321.
Right. That's
Right.
right.
You got to think.
How do you know that number like exactly?
Okay, so I will tell you. I know that number exactly because Haley, my daughter, was an ambassador, a student ambassador at LSU, and one of the things they had to know
Yeah, but
was
that's the number that sticks with you.
here's why. Because it is 103 and then backwards 321.
Okay.
That's just how.
Okay.
Yeah,
Look,
okay.
I can't tell you what I had for breakfast, but I can tell you that number. That's what I know.
And see, mine, I can tell you that like last year at F1, it was 125,000 for Eminem. This year is about 85,000 for Garth Brooks, and that is a ton of people. I mean, that's about 14 acres of personnel in front of you.
So what I want to know is, you mean LSU Stadium, they had to squeeze that extra one chair in? They couldn't leave it at, 20? No,
Nope.
we have to go 21.
It's just the way
That's
that
the one
works out.
behind the pole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay, I got you.
But here's the biggest takeaway from me from this whole effort. Number one, non-conservative. So high estimates are that they got 1.2. You know what? Say it was 2 million people who showed up across
No,
the
you
country.
And
you're
that's-
rounding really
Oh, yeah.
sucks.
But you know what?
Really up.
That's okay. I'm going to round way up. You know
Way up.
why? So let's do some math here. How many people in the country? Call it 360 million.
Okay.
yeah, it's-
So 10
okay.
so 10% of the country would be 30.
3.6.
But it
No,
it
no.
would be 30, yeah.
10% would be 36.
36.
Yeah.
1% would
It's
be 3.6.
Yep.
So all this bull news
0.33.
for less than 0.5% of the country?
0.33.
Kavan, it's male bovine excrement.
Yes, male bovine excrement. I like that.
But you know, the truth of the matter is everyone who really makes this world work was at work. That's
Well,
what it is.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was out working
Yeah.
to support all them bums that were out protesting.
Yes.
Okay,
But those bums were getting paid.
whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
you know,
whoa.
but they
And
were
getting paid more than those of us that were
that
at work.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I sent over this, and please, again, don't believe us on this. But the majority of the money to fund this whole thing didn't come from the United States.
No.
Where'd it come from, Renee?
Well,
Renee's on a roll. It's like when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor. Just let him keep going.
let him go. I'll be honest with you. I read the article about it, but I don't remember where it came from. But one of the things that I wanted to go after.
Where's Georgie Boy from?
George Soros?
Yeah, he's
Austrian.
Yeah, but
that's a hint.
Isn't he Yeah, but isn't he? He's American. I think.
Esque.
I think he's.
He
no, I
might
think,
hold dual citizenship.
Yeah, I think he
but
has citizenship, but it doesn't matter. Those guys. That guy just drives me crazy with all the.
Okay, so hold on. We're going to ask somebody to effort here on set George Soros' nationality and where he holds citizenship while we're in this segment.
I'll look it
Because
up.
the reality is this.
Obama 2.0.
Yeah, you don't know where he's from. I mean,
Where you from?
he is on record as helping the Nazis during World War II. He
Oh,
has
my
said
phone
that he
turned
has.
off.
He has a Kenyan birth certificate.
He has a Kenyan birth certificate. George Soros is not
Hungarian.
Kenyan.
And born in Hawaii.
Hungarian American.
Wait, I love it.
Hungarian.
Hungarian American.
Hungarian American.
So does he hold dual citizenship between Hungary
He went
and
from Hungary to the UK before coming to the US.
and somehow got citizenship in the US? I guess money can buy everything and anything. But here's the big thing. You think this is organic. The media wants you to think that people are just genuinely this upset without anybody stirring the pot.
Oh.
Well, they had a major advertising campaign because it was 2 weeks before all of this. It was on every media outlet, so they were advertising, show up at this location. Do that. It's just like, come on, really? So it's not just a protest; it's a planned event. Is what it was.
And remember, we did the story on the website that actually you can go to, and now the name of the website is going to escape me, but there is a website. If you just search create a protest or planned movement, you can go hire people and they crowdsource.
Go protest.
They literally create
GoFundMe?
on their website. It says if you are looking to create a movement or a protest, we can provide people.
Fecalagitators.com.
Renee, ring the bell. That's twice tonight. Male bovine excrement
I
and
like the poop joke.
and fecalagitators.com. That, you know what? Okay, we have the person who manages all of the socials for Implicit Bias Radio actually in the TSPL as part of the live studio audience. I think we need to go buy fecalagitators.com.
I would. You
So-
better do it quick.
Side note,
Mrs. Implicit Bias, hurry up and do that.
between 1979 and 2011, he donated more than $11 billion to philanthropic
Philanthropic?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long word. I know.
Yeah. Causes. Mostly liberal.
Mostly liberal.
yeah.
No, yeah, all liberal.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Because whether it had a R or a D behind it, it was all liberal.
right.
It doesn't say when he became an American citizen.
I would love to know that because I have a hard time believing. What, Walker? Oh, okay. This is a hard rap. I know. Look, if you don't get hour 2 of Implicit Bias Radio in your market, you might be Vidalia, you might be Natchez, Mississippi. Call the radio station. Tell them, hey, we want hour 2 because hour 2 is always more fun. If you're in New Orleans, if you're in Monroe, if you're in Lafayette, stick around because there's more weekly whiskey. Cocktail hour is coming up on Implicit Bias Radio. We'll solve the problems of the world 1 or 5 or 10 weekly whiskeys or cocktails at a time. I don't know. I'm losing count. Walker is like pushing us into hour 2 here. As I said, give Caleb just a minute and I hear Walker go 3, 2, hour 2 of Implicit Bias Radio. Always more fun. You're laughing
Keeping
about
everybody on track. That's all.
Why?
That's my job.
Why are you over there like grinning at me seductively is what I want to know. Like you tilted your head sideways. I saw a little tongue. I don't know what's happening. I'm not sure if I like this.
it. Yeah, well,
You know you do.
look,
Yeah, I mean, I was just an Austin.
Caleb, all I'm going to say is this. If all you saw was a little tongue with the shorts he's wearing, consider yourself lucky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, have you watched him when he gets up? He hikes him up when he sits back down.
He does.
No, I do not. When I sit it, they just.
Yeah,
That's
like a
because he's
skirt.
got
It's
thick
like a skirt.
thighs.
we don't need to go there.
I know that song, "Thick Thighs Save a Lot." No, that's not where Walker.
Where we do need to go. We do need to go to Cocktail Hour with Implicit Bias Radio.
Oh, we're gonna go from his thighs to cocktails. Okay, great segue.
But we are having cocktails on Implicit Bias Radio, and it is just too much fun. G is in the house with the official cocktail mixer of Implicit Bias Radio, Sirop de Saison, Sirop Trading Company, which doesn't just make Sirop de Saison, and we figured that out this week, G.
That's right. That's right. So Sirop de Claire as well.
Uh-huh.
And
Phenomenal.
now Sirop de Mint.
haven't
Coming to a
had that
store
one.
near you for mojitos and mint
Okay.
juleps.
Oh, son of a gun! I haven't had that.
so
one.
let's-
That's a necessity.
Let's talk about what we have here, though, because we don't have a mojito in front of us. We have
don't.
what is one of my favorite cocktails on the planet.
So we have America's first cocktail.
Yes.
Naturally, it was made in New Orleans. It was created in New
course.
Orleans.
Imagine that.
Because I don't know of any other city capable of producing America's first cocktail.
This is a winner.
All right, good.
is
So
it.
I'm
This
glad.
is it.
I'm glad to
Ooh.
hear that. So there was some discussion about what should be in a Sazerac, which particular Sirop should be in a Sazerac.
And let's explain that because
Yeah.
Alex Saison, as in Sirop de Saison,
Correct.
was on the show and made Sazeracs for us once. And I said, that's the best Sazerac I've ever had.
And
And then you and I started having a conversation, and I realized what I thought was in it wasn't what was actually in what we had. And I've been making mine completely different.
correct, but you've been making it with the Claire instead
Correct.
of the Saison.
Correct.
Which is, so the Saison, just to tell
It's-
the audience a little bit, is molasses, brown sugar, vanilla. Everything you love about whiskey is what the Saison is. The Claire is what we like to call island infused simple syrup. Any clear spirit,
I
rum,
like using that for margaritas.
margaritas,
actually.
unbelievable margarita. It'll be the best margarita you've ever had. And we'll do it on a
Yeah,
show in
yeah.
the future. But best margarita you ever had, like really fresh, really refreshing, soft, not overly tequila, but just really, really good margarita without any of the junk that's in it. So the Claire is what we like to call the bartender staple. If you're not using it for everything, if you have someone come over to your house and you have a bottle of the Claire and they are a gin drinker, you can take a citrus and the Claire and the gin and make them a cocktail, and they're going to be knocked.
It's
knock
the
their socks
utility
off.
player of the baseball team.
It absolutely
It can
is.
play any position on the field.
Yeah, we
That's
use it
right.
with gin and rum a lot.
Oh yeah. And it's great with rum. You're going to love the mint if you love
That-
rum.
So I love mojitos. We planted on mint by the AC for us and everything else. One, it keeps bugs away, and then two, it takes over, so it gives us beautiful aroma. But we did that mainly for mojitos.
So this is going to give you the best depth of flavor mint wise without having to deal with mint.
Ooh,
Which is great, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to ruin a bartender's day, ask them to make
yeah,
you a mojito.
muddle some mint,
Yeah.
yeah,
Every time I go
and then you're like, oh, it's in my teeth.
every time we go out to eat, I like a julep, but with
Yeah.
no water,
Okay.
just mint and bourbon.
Yeah.
So I'm like, can you just muddle the mint and just put some bourbon on it? And that's
the-
all I
The
need.
bartenders and the servers
And they're,
love
oh
you.
yeah, they're like, oh, it's the mint lady. Or I'll even say it's the mint lady.
So back to the Sazerac.
Yeah, what do we have?
So the Sazerac was created by Antoine Peychaud of Peychaud. If you're an old fashioned drinker, you know about Peychaud's bitters.
Everybody knows Peychaud's
Right.
better.
So he was an apothecary in New Orleans, came from the West Indies, moved to New Orleans, and started an apothecary shop. They call him the Creole apothecary. So What was interesting about this cocktail is he had already been making the bitters, which were used for medicinal purposes, just much like spirits were.
I'm about to say alcohol. I mean,
Exactly.
alcohol. Whiskey was
Exactly.
deemed a medicine, and it's how they got around it a lot of times during Prohibition.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
And bitters are actually considered a food, even though they have 35% alcohol by volume. They're considered a
But you
food.
do need an ID to buy them, just so you know, at some places.
I did not know that.
Yes, there are
So
some.
we were told we could sell it fine. You know?
There are some places.
Buy a box of 22 in bitters.
There are some places where the system will ask for an ID if you are buying bitters. Yes, because it is 35% alcohol.
There
by
must be an
volume.
Opelousas thing because in Abbeville, if you buy enough chicken, they give you like a case of beer for free.
yeah.
So apparently in Opelousas, it's if you buy bitters, you get
Same.
a box
Yeah.
of 22 shells. Okay,
Yep, that's how it
All right.
works.
Yeah, well, good to know. I'll be there Monday. So thank you. So when Peychaud invented this cocktail, it was a way for him to use his bitters in another way. So he actually used an egg cup. You may know what
Yeah,
an egg cup
I know
is.
what an
Like
egg
your
cup is.
grandmother probably had one
Absolutely.
that served hard-boiled eggs in.
Yeah.
So in French, that is called a cocktail. What does the word cocktail sound like?
It sounds like cocktail.
Cocktail. It's exactly right. So that's where the word came from. So that took off around the nation, and then we talked about old fashions and how that came around last week. So basically, the base of any cocktail was sugar, bitters, water, spirit, and that was it. You know, so that's kind of the origin story of the Sazerac. What makes this one really unique is it has a spritz of Herb Saint liqueur,
Yes.
which is a anise
It's-
licorice
it's a
flavored
worm-
liqueur.
it's a wormwood.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, that's when they started having problems with absinthe and everything else. They were trying to find a swap. And wasn't Herb Saint really originally from the NOLA area?
Yes.
Well, and if you know, you know that absinthe and herb saint are spelled with exactly the same letters. They just rearranged the letters from absinthe to spell herb saint so that it didn't fall underneath absinthe because of the problems absinthe was
Did
having.
not that I did not know.
The Green Fairy.
Correct.
Old Ed Raggle Pope.
Yeah.
Who needs two ears, you know?
Little Van Gogh
I
there
was
for
gonna
you.
say
Yeah.
Van Gogh didn't, evidently.
Okay, so this is one of my absolute favorite cocktails because when you tell people that this is a traditional Sazerac is 2 ounces of a rye whiskey, your simple syrup, your bitters, herb saint sprayed into the glass, so it just literally
Misted.
mists
Like
the glass,
basically
correct,
atomized.
and then a lemon peel.
That's correct.
And when you stick your nose in it, it smells like candied lemon.
Which is what I think when you and I were talking about why the Saison is opposed to the Claire, or why the Claire is opposed to the Saison is going to give you a very different flavor profile. It's going to be heavier.
It's going to be deeper. It's going to be darker.
That's right. Deeper,
This is
darker.
bright
This is brighter,
citrus.
right?
Yes.
And this has the citrus in it. The Claire does. So I think it complements that lemon peel
Mm-hmm.
really, really well. And I think it brings out a little bit more of the rye spice
Agreed.
that you would get in a cocktail.
So what's the proof on this cocktail? Because Grant K&B was out in the TSPL and he was like, man, this is really sweet. Like you can barely taste the alcohol in this at all.
It's 115 proof.
115 proof. So this as a cocktail is 115 proof.
Correct.
So watered down with just a little bit of water and the simple syrup, it's still at 115. You would never know.
No. And so this was so basically what I did was because I got in trouble last week serving some 90
You did not get
95
in
proof
trouble.
stuff. I
We
was
did
like,
just make you come back and say, do it right this time. No,
I'm
that's
going to
not
do
what
it.
happened.
So basically,
appreciate that.
I couldn't find a rye with a high enough content. So basically, what I did was I took 33% rye and 50 or 66% bourbon.
Yep.
But I did 125 proof bourbon.
Yep.
And 100 proof rye together. So you're in that 115 range with the ice and everything. You're probably in the 110, 112, somewhere around
As a
there.
cocktail, though, that's absurd and unheard of.
Exactly. Right.
So my question is, Nicole,
I have a question.
Okay.
So wait, you mixed 2 different bourbons in that?
A bourbon and a rye.
Well, that's what all right.
But
you
same-
you mixed 2 different bottles.
Yes.
Same
Yep.
brand.
To combine same brand, different bottles. Okay, gotcha.
To give us
I
this
have never done
delicious flavor.
okay, so I'm curious as to, I mean, you're a New Orleanian.
that. Yeah.
You're a Sazerac person. If you're from New Orleans and you're not a Sazerac drinker, you kind of lose your New Orleanian card in a lot of places.
That's a hard word to say.
What, New Orleanian?
Yeah, like
No, it's not. Well, for those who speak English.
Walker, try it.
Anyway. Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair. Okay, so I'm just curious as to your thoughts on this cocktail.
It's good. It's very good. It's very good. It's kind of a little sweet. Like the there's a little sweet
Yep.
finish. And we were talking earlier, and I'm usually a neat or
Yeah.
on the big ice
sphere.
cube, the ice ball.
Yeah.
But no, it's really, really good. But I always like very minimal interference with my bourbon.
And I think with this one, you actually you do get the
Minimal
sweet,
interference
but
with a little
it is that-
sweet, with a little intrusion that just works.
To me, the sweet offsets, and it doesn't
Yeah.
offset. The sweet accentuates.
Yeah, it enhances
the
it,
spirit
brings it
here.
up.
And
Because the lemon zest.
oh yeah.
Yeah, the lemon zest.
Yeah, we
in
gotta
there.
edit
Word,
that.
did you-
Wa- Walker's like,
said
yeah, I
the
got the
S
time
word.
signal.
The lemon zest
Look,
with
it took
the
me
herb
this
saint.
long to do it.
It just it melds.
The lemons that
so
it really
well.
does kind of just pull it all together.
Like this is how I want every Sazerac to be. That's because I've gone places, I've tried Sazeracs. I'm like, look, you're trying, but it's not there.
Well, that's why I quit ordering cocktails out, and I just
Yeah,
go straight
yeah.
like on the rocks or straight up, whatever.
If I could
however you
get
wanna call it.
this at most restaurants, I would be thrilled.
This is why we exist.
Yeah.
We talked
Yeah.
about this last week. The reason Zero exists is because we want people to be consistent in their cocktails at home.
Well, yeah, it gives you the opportunity to pretend to be Tom Cruise, right? Taller, more handsome, but it gives you the chance to be your own mixologist.
Oh,
Speak
look,
for
okay.
yourself.
So hold on. So we are going to have a conversation when Randy Como comes on the show.
Okay.
So Randy is new with us. We love that Randy is with us. It is outstanding that he is now part of the Implicit Bias family. He is a part of what, Ortho One, right?
Yes.
Perio One. I'm sorry, not Ortho One. Perio One. He's a periodontist. And the funny part is, I've known Randy forever, and we got back joined together for part of the show through a third person. And when we sat down and started talking, one of the conversations I had that you bring up Tom Cruise, and we're going to get into this, not right now, but I'm going to tease this, that Tom Cruise,
Okay.
if you look at him, most people's teeth, the gap between their two front teeth line up with the center line of their face. Go look at a picture of Tom Cruise and you will see that his teeth don't line up with the rest of his face. And once you see it, you'll never unsee it. And
That's because his eyes are wide shut.
no, that's because the director of Eyes Wide Shut was killed right after that. Right after making the movie. Yeah. That was good. That was good. So we'll go down that rabbit hole when Randy makes it on the show.
You don't remember the movie? Eyes Wide Shut?
In my brain now, I just see him laughing. That's all I see. I'm trying to remember.
I'm
teeth.
telling you,
Oh.
just Google a picture of Tom Cruise, think Randy Como, Perio One, and when you look at it, you go, Randy Como could fix that.
See, and even then, like I think about when I think about teeth and the gaps, I'm like, oh, poo poo Broussard,
Man, my lips is chap.
chap chap, Carmex, Blistex, something. I'm gonna have to Google it. you know.
My rose is like you flying.
Maybe
man.
if Tom Cruise was like on the same height level as me, I would notice his teeth more. I don't know.
Okay, look, this is the fun part. So he
Let's
made
not get into short jokes.
hey, he made Interview with a
make it
Vampire.
brief.
He made Interview with a Vampire in
Yes.
New Orleans, right?
A phenomenal movie too.
Crossed paths with him. Didn't like get to talk to him, but a friend of mine was babysitting for him and Nicole Kidman at the
How
time.
did it feel to look up to him?
Oh no, he made me feel tall.
Oh, good for you.
Which, yeah, it's about time, right? I mean, I'm a garden gnome in cowboy boots to get to 5'1", right? This guy is like, when you look at him, you're like, man, they have to have you standing on a platform at all times in every movie you're in.
He's really not Top Gun.
He's definitely not Tall Gun. And to say that he was Jack Reacher, who's supposed to be 6'4", was not
Yeah.
even close.
Yeah, no.
Rabbit hole, we're going to pull out of the rabbit hole. We're going back to the cocktail.
Back to the cocktail.
Because-
Well, look for like I got a better pour
Tom
this time for
Cruise
a
didn't
short pour. a
deserve
big
that
pour.
much
airtime. Yeah, and look, height is what it is, right? I mean, not everyone's.
It's not like you can control it.
Yeah, I'm the second to smallest in my family. I'd love to be a little bit taller, but speaking of taller, this pours a little bit more zest. I smell that herb saint now too. It's just well done.
So let me ask you
Well
this:
done.
is the second pour as sweet as the first pour?
I'll tell you right now.
I
Yes.
wish people could see this.
Yes.
Okay. The reason I'm
Yes.
asking that is because the herb saint spritz. I didn't re-spritz your glass.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Well,
But
it's
but
lingering,
still
it's
there.
staying
Still,
there,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And it will stay there. That's why
Yeah.
you only need a spritz. So if you're
Yeah.
making this cocktail at home, do not pour herb saint in your glass.
No.
Herb saint
No.
is so powerful, so pungent. If you've ever drank absinthe and chased the green fairy,
Oh, I did it once. Never again.
if my buddy's listening out there, Sarn Pounds, he and I, what year is this? Yeah, we're good. So
Statute of limitations. Yeah.
we did all this research to try to find the highest wormwood content and everything else and what we could find, and we got it to us while we were overseas, and we chased the green fairy. And I tell you what, we did not find him. A bottle did not work for the two of us. So I don't know how
all
much
I know
it
is
drink.
this. So when
If
they-
it tasted like this, I drink a lot more of it.
They have recently, and I say recently, it's been in the past, 10 years or so, that they've re-legalized absinthe in the United States, because for a long time it was illegal. And in New Orleans, you have Ye Old Absinthe House, which is one of the oldest bars in the country.
Yep, and they do it there over a sugar cube.
Well, which is the way
flame.
you're supposed to do it, right? You're
Yes.
supposed to pour the absinthe
Straight
over
is
a sugar
horrible.
cube.
Oof.
Even then, so I'm not huge on licorice.
Hate it.
And when I tasted that, I was like, oh, this is disgusting. And then like 2 hours later, and of course it was with big whiskey. So the liquor fairy knows.
2 hours later, you're like, whoa, I love that.
Oh no, it was bad. It was just
It tastes the
bad
same
night.
coming out.
I had a friend that snuck a bottle into Jazz Fest one year,
Oh no.
and I still have the bottle with like this much in my house somewhere.
And for
I
those-
keep it very hidden.
Yeah, you
'cause I
have
don't
to.
know what's gonna happen if that bottle comes out again.
It's bad.
Every time I run across it, I'm like, oh shoot, there's my. See,
Yeah, you got it right that time.
It's just a trophy. It's just a trophy at this
Yep.
point.
It is.
So the best part of
That
this
was a
is
good Jazz Fest though.
Zero is not just Saison. It's not just Amer. I'm sorry. It's not just
Claire.
Declare. It is not just soon to be Deminthe. It is also Amer de Saison.
Which are the bitters, correct?
Yeah.
So
Now, I've always wondered, what the heck are bitters? How do you make them?
So it's you take really clean, high grain, high proof alcohol, like Everclear, something along
Okay.
those lines, to give you a brand name. We use something different than that because we like the flavor profile better.
The best
Okay.
white dog you can get.
But basically, at 150, proof, it's so much alcohol that you really can't.
Yeah, you don't
drink
consume
it,
a
right?
whole bunch.
But what you're doing
tried.
is you're taking that and you're steeping it in a filtered sock with gentian root, coriander seeds, cinnamon, a bunch of different spices and things like that. And basically, you're letting that steep for 7 days, 21 days. And then after that, you take it and you proof it down with water, distilled
Okay.
water. And then once you get it to that point, now you basically have bitters. Then you have to filter it because when you combine water and liquor together, sometimes it gets cloudy. So we filter it through a 1 micron filter multiple times to get it as clear as we possibly can.
Well, and your bitters is the only bitters I use actually. Like that is just my favorite because the standard one you find just doesn't cut the mustard. It's got a little different flavor, a little
Syrupy.
yeah. It's more artificial.
So
I
there
guess.
there are some old school names with bitters, right? And some are very dark, and they're darker in flavor, they're darker in consistency. Some are a little bit brighter, right? And you talked about Antoine Peychaud, and we talked about that. They're a little bit brighter. But what I love about the Amer is it's almost an orangish bitter. And when you can start incorporating orange into the bitter and you get that extra citrus, which is, it's a little bit deeper citrus, man, the flavor profile that it brings out in virtually any cocktail is fantastic. And the really cool part about bitters is if you go back and look at the history of bitters, people will just take bitters, put a few drops of bitters in water to settle their stomach. Like literally, you said it was medicine. It's been used that way for hundreds of years. Walker, what is the deal? We are like in the middle of great stuff.
You're
and-
like an angsty teen.
yes, he is. Walker is rebelling in the corner. We should cut him off. We
Go
should take
see
his-
your mother.
We should take his microphone away. Put it at the bar. How'd
Go
you
ahead.
like?
You
How'd you
take
like
it.
that, Walker?
You can take it.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. Implicit Bias Radio. We're going to start getting into some more of the stories that are out there you may not see, you may not hear anywhere else, because guess what? It's all about the morals and not the mandate on this week's episode. Cheers. Hour 2 of Implicit Bias is always more fun. This week, as Poo Poo Broussard would say, poo! This one's going a little crazy. What, Renee?
It's like you fly.
It's like you flying, eh?
flying rules.
Rose, it's like you flying. Yeah. Yeah, no, this week is tons of fun in the Mr. Lester's TSPL, which, by the way, you might want to try and show up this weekend at Mr. Lester's, the only 5-star restaurant between New Orleans and Houston, because, yeah, they are running $5 pours of Blanton's, and they did just get some more Blanton's in. So they did run out the first weekend that we ran the promotion, and now they are going to
Good for
serve
them,
some more.
though.
Oh, I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
And look, I got to tell you, little birdies get to tell us things every now and then, and I don't want to be that, hey, I'm teasing things too much. What I will tell you is
I always
this,
knew you were a tease.
that between, trust me, I always deliver on it. At the end of this year,
Elizabeth shaking her head no.
yeah,
Made you
she's
look.
not even there.
Made
I was
you
like,
look.
no, I was like, she's shaking her head no, but she might just be picking on me because, yeah, if you know, you know. Anyway,
All right, tripod.
there will be, like I said, if you know, you know. There will be, there will be another announcement from Mr. Lester's before the end of the year that's something real special.
Looking forward to it.
It's coming. So there's that. Now we're diving into the stories that, it's morals or mandate. And as we are now tasting yet another new whiskey on this week's episode, this is the Larceny Barrel Pick from Dornax in New Orleans. So Nicole, thank you for bringing this.
You're welcome.
And as a Larceny Barrel Pick, typically Larceny Barrel Picks are cask strength, which I assume this is going to be cask strength. I haven't even tasted it yet.
It is.
It is outstanding. So
123 is my guess.
123. Okay, now
123. Let's see. Come on, Renee.
That's my guess.
What is it? T-Wop? What's your nickname?
oh,
The Wizard of what?
he
Certified
is
Wizard
the certified wizard of
CWAT.
tobacco, the CWAT.
C-Watt.
Yes.
All right, I said
Okay.
T-Wop. C-Watt. T-Wop.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
No,
We're
the,
all friend
the
now.
TWOT sounds like a great
Yes,
nickname
it
for Renee.
123 is what you guess?
Yep.
Kavan?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I can't go the exact same number. I'm gonna say 126.
Okay.
You can go the exact same number. Put a point in there. That's fine.
124.5.
Ooh.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, we're both on it. I mean, there's no doubt, and this does not. This is
Not
another
great
one.
Like that.
This
What
is
were
another
those?
one that proves that if it's proofed correctly, the alcohol doesn't destroy you.
What were those little root beer hard candies that grandparents had?
Oh dear God, you and root beer.
The little
telling you.
barrels.
No, they were like brown and white stripes. They were rectangular.
Oh,
And
I know,
everyone's
that's peanut
grandparents
butter.
had
That was
them.
peanut butter.
Was peanut butter?
Those were peanut butter. The root beer were in the shape of barrels.
Oh,
Do y'all
you're right.
remember
You're
Swiss
right.
Colony?
Yes.
Remember Swiss Colony? And
Yep,
you could go
yep.
pick up like the gin and tonic or the
I-
strawberry, the little like liquor flavored hard candies.
So this is the crazy part because the biggest
Clearview Shopping Center.
the biggest candy thing that I remember was when my mother would tell me, "Yes, you can go get a treat. You can go take the scoop out of the Brock's display in the back of Dornax,
Yes.
and you can get a scoop of because that's where we shopped. I mean, we grew up not far from there, but you can get some caramels. You can get some of the candies, not caramels, Renee, caramels.
It's caramels. It is
Spe-
caramels.
spell it for me. Spell it for me.
C-A-R-M-E-L.
Nope. Caramel, C-A-R-M-E-L is a place. Caramel, C-A-R-M-E-L is a food.
So back to it. I'm like
We went through
I'm
this.
confusing the flavors
the
and the colors.
dictionary corrects
I'm
it.
confusing the flavors and the candies because this is root beer. This is just like this is phenomenal. This is those little barrel shaped candies. That's what this is.
So absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
All right. I have a debate going on at the store.
Okay.
Okay.
The word P-E-C-A-N.
Oh no, there is no debate.
Pecan?
It's a pecan. It's a pecan.
My
like with
food serv-
A-H-N. Pecan.
Pecan.
Pecan. Yes.
Paw.
Hey,
My
there
food
is no
service
such thing
operator,
as
he
a
says pecan.
No,
I'm like,
you-
no, that's
no,
what you do in the woods.
correct. No, you don't even do that in the woods. That's
No,
that's
that's-
where you take a can and you go pee in it.
That's
That is
right.
a pecan.
The
Yeah,
best way to
that's what
figure
you
out how to
keep-
pronounce things is like when you look at somebody and you're like, how do you pronounce the word D-E-B-R-A? Deborah. How do you
Yeah.
pronounce Z-E-B-R-A?
Zebra.
It should be zebra, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So boom.
Is it good food or good food?
Yep. You know what? This is the one thing where there is no debate. If you say pecan, you are an uncultured heathen that does not
Change-
belong to be with the rest
Change the
of us.
channel right now.
Yes.
They don't.
if-
They don't have a bathroom. That's why they have a pecan.
All right. So let's dive into the story because this story really gets me with the morals versus mandate. Because I'm of a generation where student loans started to become a thing. I graduated high school in 91 and student loans were just there.
Damn.
And I remember my father telling me, you will never borrow money below 8% interest for the rest of your life. And I was like, are you kidding me? He's like, borrow it because I can't borrow it from a bank at that cheap.
Yep.
And guess what? I knew that I had to pay that money back. Now we have people saying, oh my goodness, student loans need to be paid back because education should be free. That's a really interesting take. Because what about all those people who already paid their student loans?
Well, I would much prefer like the biblical version of loans, right?
Well, usury is a whole different thing, but you can go down that
Yeah.
path.
No, we'll just talk about a 7-year program.
Yeah.
So if it's more than 7 years, it resets every 7 years and goes away. And if during that time you have a 4-year term and it resets to 7, you only pay back 4 years worth. That way there's no stacking of debt, no generational debt. And the Bible tells us how to do that. And when we look at what we have now, where it's just generational debt upon generational debt upon generational debt to hide and mask inflation, to put you deeper in a hole, and then you get an education that's not really education, it's an indoctrination where you learn nothing about life.
But let's talk about what that creates because number one, that is the first, as you start to dig the hole for human beings and really chain them up in economic slavery, that's the first part of the hole. The second part of the hole that it creates is this. I have long argued that student loans created a situation that made education unaffordable. So the question isn't, oh, what does an education cost? The question is, why did an education 30 years ago, a semester in college, Tulane University was $26,000 a semester at the time. And that was considered outrageous. Considered absolutely outrageous. Today, I don't even want to know what a semester at Tulane University cost. It's like 50, so it's double. The point being,
Call that, that's not even inflation.
no.
That's
Well,
extortion.
yeah,
Okay.
That's just
So-
private college.
But
Yeah.
but,
Yeah,
but
you're
here's
talking about a private school.
but here's the thing.
But I can tell you a thing about state school.
I can tell you a thing about state school as well. Renee, when you were in school, you bought Cokes for like a penny, and you bought education
no,
for
no,
like
no.
$300.
There was no such thing as
Coca-
Mexican Coke back then.
Coca-Cola hadn't been invented yet. No.
Yeah, back
my
then it was just cocaine.
My first semester at USL was the fall of 1980.
Woo.
Semester was $265.
So my semester, the year I graduated from Southeastern, my final semester was $1,900 for a semester,
And you were
and I'm significantly younger than you.
you're 10, 11 years behind me.
Correct.
So,
But the point here being, why all of a sudden did we start to see this vast
yeah,
escalation?
I mean, like
I'll tell you why. though.
UL, what is that? 6,000 a semester now?
Oh, it's worse. But we're not
It's
even going to go
worse.
there. But the point is, the question is, why all of a sudden did we see this massive escalation in university prices? You know why? It's because they could. Because we started giving student loans to every Tom, Dick, Harry, and moron who didn't deserve to be in college or shouldn't have been in college, right? And when I say moron, I mean moron with regards to what a college education would be. They might be genius with their hands as a plumber, as an electrician. They just weren't necessarily four-year college material, but we insisted, hey, we're going to give you a loan, and we're going to give you this loan for whatever amount you ask for. So what happened? Universities went, man, if we keep upping our prices, they'll keep giving out more loans. And people wonder, oh, you can't prove that. That doesn't happen. Well, guess what happened with the Big Beautiful Bill? The Big Beautiful Bill actually changed so much of what happens with student loans. Well, how do I know? Because my daughter's in grad school.
It rolled back that cost of tuition
It
by
did.
how many years?
Now that I don't know how many years, but it rolled it back to a point where the Santa Clara School of Law, and I'm going to give you some numbers here, and I want to make sure these numbers are specific. The 2015-2016 year tuition was $43,760. By the time they got to 2025 to 2026, it was $63,280. That's the Santa Clara School of Law. That's a state school. In 2026, 2027, take the finger and stick it, Walker. They dropped their tuition to $50,000. That is a 20% drop in tuition. Why? Because not everybody's getting a loan for the exact amount that they're asking for, going to school for an underwater basket weaving emphasis in gender studies degree that they can't do anything with. And now all of a sudden people actually have to make sure that they're going to be able to make the degree work for revenue.
It's an 8 to 9 year rollback.
And then
That's what it
even
equates to.
more so, people who would make loans for their living expenses,
Mhm.
and then they live off of it. They weren't really serious about school.
Or the
So
worst
then you're
part,
not getting the students out of the school, but you still have the debt. It's
or the worst part, they would borrow money, go to college for part of a semester, drop out, keep the money.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Basically,
and
like
then-
living expenses.
Yeah, and then do anything and everything with it. And the next thing you know, they're on the hook for all this debt. Now they want their student loans forgiven,
Yeah.
which, by the way, Nicole, I heard you had yours forgiven.
No, I didn't have mine forgiven.
You
I
got a
paid
letter.
mine, and I got a letter saying, "Hey, do you want your loans forgiven?" I'm like, "Sure, send me back that $15,000.
There you
I'll
go.
take that.
Government doing what government
I'll
does.
take that." Bleep.
And it's why we have Implicit Bias Radio. We're going to take the break. We'll come back. Penultimate segment, Walker.
Yes, sir.
About time on Implicit Bias Radio. The morals are with us. The mandate we're really not worried about because government doesn't dictate our morals. Here on Implicit Bias Radio, I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon. We are in the penultimate segment of hour 2, which means the second to last segment of this week's show. We've got a great crew here in the Mr. Lester's TSPL. We've got the Rustic Renegade, who I wish you could see that on
I'm
video.
thoroughly enjoying
If
it.
you are not watching on X, on YouTube, on Facebook, on
That
Instagram,
face was probably rated X.
I don't want to know because I don't want to ask Jackie if that. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to the bar where we've got the Certified Wizard of Tobacco, which I think we need to come up with a new acronym for that.
I like the Tobacco Wizard of Tobacco. I thought that was great.
Yes. Yeah. The Tobacco Wizard, especially if you spell the whole thing out and you just say it. Yeah.
Yeah, you could. If you had too many whiskeys, you could get in trouble with that.
Yeah.
We might get in trouble with the FCC
Or
with
just
that.
the Wizard of Tobacco.
The Wizard of Tobacco. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. We're going to keep that one
I'm
off the
gonna
microphone.
get him a patch.
Yeah, we're going to keep that one off the microphone. And we have our guest from New Orleans, Nicole Dornack, who is with us, who has brought multiple weekly whiskeys for this week's show. We've had Cocktail Hour with Ciro de Saison, which is the best Sazerac
We've
I've ever had.
brought a month of whiskeys.
Yeah, we did. And we're doing them all in one show, which is an exercise in control. It really
most
is.
definitely,
It
definitely.
ish. It is. We sometimes have more fun than maybe we're supposed to on the show, but this is a story that a lot of people are upset about. And in one way, I kind of understand, but on the same hand, I'm like, how spoiled, how entitled, how much of the club do you really think you are? So Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, not Defense now for the United States, Pete Hegseth issued a new policy for the media in the Pentagon. Apparently, you could just walk around the Pentagon willy-nilly with a press pass and go wherever the heck you wanted. Now, here's the interesting part, and this is what bothers me. The press has been all over this. We're surrendering our press passes in protest. Say that 5 times fast. I don't care. Because guess what? You can't walk into NOPD. You can't walk into Lafayette PD. You can't walk into Lafayette Parish Sheriff's Department. You can't walk into JPSO. You can't walk into Monroe Police Department and just walk around like you want with a press pass.
Well, does that mean that we can get press passes now?
Or maybe we can.
Nobody should be able to walk into any secured building, establishment, anything, press pass or not. You can't even go to a concert with like a press pass and go anywhere. Why would you be able to go into a government building, the Pentagon, the White House, anything? But the Democrats did whatever the hell they wanted for so long that.
Okay, so when you say,
yeah.
I love that, because when you say the Democrats, what you mean is the press.
Yes.
Well, and look
Because
at it
that's
this
who
way.
it is.
All right, the media,
Yeah.
whoever you
Yeah.
want to call, whoever the
Air quotes.
whoever's,
Oh, we're into air quotes.
The whoever's.
Yeah. The them.
they
they.
did them.
Yeah.
The they,
Well, and
them,
look-
it, she, whatever.
When you look at a
pronoun
military
confused
installation,
people.
press passes get you not unfettered access, you have restricted access.
Yes.
There are
They
certain
gotta have
places you can
respect.
go that others can't, but then there are certain places that are blocked off, right? You still have to abide by certain things.
That's because you taught respect there.
Right. So the Pentagon, which is a military installation, had different rules for press access, which is what confuses me first and foremost. Even the Army Times, the Marine Corps Times, the Navy Times, the Air Force's Times. I don't think the Coast Guard does papers. I don't know. But even those journalists don't get free access to everything.
Wait. Stop. You just said the word journalist. Those people are not journalists.
Well, actually, on the
Okay.
military times,
They're
those people,
probably closer to journalists than
well,
anybody.
they're in
Well,
the
look,
military. Most of
they
those
are.
people that work for the different newspapers for the military are in the military.
So,
Yeah, but even then, they don't have the same freedom of thought.
Well, you got to look at, especially around the Pentagon, unless you have the secret clearances, there's some areas that you're not allowed.
Ooh.
And as a press pass holder, guess what? That's not a secret clearance or a top
Nope.
secret or
No.
any clearance. You don't get to go and access those areas.
you should not. Let's remember.
I think it depends on who you know.
Let's
And
remember.
who they want to get what out.
Well, so that's exactly why Hegseth issued the order that he issued. Because let's remember, didn't we try to send someone to prison for having papers that legally they could possess because of the position they held, but just didn't have them maybe in the right spot? This is all about, in our opinion, this is all about shuttering the leaks that were coming out of the Pentagon from people who maybe were allegiant to a previous administration.
yeah.
That's what this is about. And people don't like it because now they're like, well, wait a minute. Let's see how we're going to try and tackle and lawfare the people we don't like. This might be maybe the way to sum it up. And this gets me aggravated. We attempted to impeach a president. We might have actually succeeded. I don't even remember at this point. We attempted to impeach a president. We brought impeachment papers against a president for someone in the military who said, I was in a restaurant and overheard this person having a phone conversation and heard both sides of the conversation from not the same table that the person was sitting at, but from a different table in the restaurant. And we impeached someone over what they thought they heard. Don't give me, Renee, you ready for the bell? Don't give me this male bovine excrement that you have such good hearing that you can hear both sides of a cell phone conversation from across the freaking room. These are the people who are in the military and we need to get out.
Yeah, but I think that person was tapping that phone too, so probably.
And you don't always need to hear both sides of the conversation. Sometimes you can pick up what's going on from one side.
But can you
And if
actually pick it all up and confirm it?
No.
No.
You can't. It's not reasonable to even give that credible thought.
Which means that person was lying to start with because he couldn't hear the other side of the conversation.
Ring the bell.
And that was, you talking about Colonel Vinkman.
Vinman, not Vinkman.
Vinkman.
You might as well
Vinkman.
call him
Yeah,
Vinkman.
Vinkman. Yeah, Vinkman, you know.
Vinkman.
Yeah.
I thought he said Vankman.
No, because Vinkman was what movie?
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters,
Vinkman.
right? Yep. What
No.
was the guy from Animal House?
Oh, that was.
Oh.
Look, I got Smedley a couple
Yeah,
weeks
we
ago,
got
but I
yes.
was-
Okay,
wait,
we'll clarify that in a
Animal
minute.
House Was, fish. Wait.
Pledge pin.
Yeah.
Niedermeyer.
You're wearing Niedermeyer. Yes, Niedermeyer. Thank you. So
See,
Nicole.
I'm just around for the nostalgia.
Nicole
like,
has come up with the
throwbacks.
nostalgia. We were actually asking last week who was the cartoon character that laughed that raspy laugh. It was Smedley. And yes, you were
That
correct.
was a
there.
dog, right?
Yes, it was a
Yeah.
dog.
Like a big, like,
Caleb,
like
you weren't here for
wolfhound.
that one.
No,
Yeah.
I was not. Yeah.
But yeah, so this is where it comes in where you're like, wait a minute. There are people in the military who disagree with the administrations that are in power. But guess what you took an oath to agree to? To follow who? The commander-in-chief.
And
That
the
is one person.
and the
And the Constitution. Right? You don't get to interpret that the way that you want to.
Nope.
And now that the press has been pulled out of those scenarios, as a former member of the press, think about it this way. I got to cover Super Bowl, I don't remember which number. It was the Patriots Rams in New Orleans. So it was the 2002 Super Bowl. It was the 2001 football season. I had a press pass. Guess what? I didn't get to go wherever the hell I wanted.
I was gonna say,
and
yeah.
that's the freaking Superdome. You don't get unfettered access. You don't get that in the Pentagon either.
Were Republicans in office then? Think about
Bush, wait, 01?
Yes.
Well, so 01, yes, it was Bush.
So the
because it
Democrats
was-
let people run wild, do whatever they want, find what they want, expose what they think.
But this was right after September 11th.
Yeah, well,
so it was
yeah.
January of 02. Bush was still in there. That's why security was tight. And that's why apparently Walker is tight as well. I'd like to see those shorts a little bit longer, not quite as tight. We're going to come back. Final segment of Implicit Bias Radio right after this. Final segment of this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio. It has been tons of fun on Implicit Bias this week, man. We've had cocktail hour here in hour 2 with Zero de Saison. We have talked about the $5 pours of Blanton's at the only 5-star restaurant between New Orleans and Houston. That's Mr. Lester Steakhouse. And Nicole Dornack has joined us from our New Orleans market at Dornack's grocery store on Vets Highway, Veterans Highway. Some people call it Vets, just kind of the short and metairie. Great crew here. We've had Kenner. What's that, Caleb?
Like you still live there or something.
Look, so here's the deal. I would love to say that you can get New Orleans out of your bloodstream.
You can
if
take
were
the
raised
boy
there.
out of the South Shore, but you can't take the South Shore out of the boy.
Yeah, it's the truth. It is the truth. I mean, let's face it, Caleb. Everybody knows the second they meet you that you grew up in Old Opelousas. I'm sorry, Opelousas.
Very valid. Very valid. Yeah.
Everybody knows, and it's okay because that is who we are, and that's who makes up who and
Yep.
what we are.
Oh yeah.
So this is a really fun story for me because everybody has said, the naysayers have been out there. And if you are a naysayer, I welcome you into the story. That nothing will ever happen. The government has been corrupt. People have been doing things, and what? Nothing's gonna happen. Well, I do believe that we have seen not one, but 2 indictments from the Department of Justice. Good old Pencil Neck has been indicted. Y'all know who Pencil Neck is, right? Right, Renee?
Yes.
Come on.
Comey.
Yep. No, Comey's not Pencil Neck.
Who's
Shifty Schiff.
Oh, Adam
wait?
Schiff.
They, They indicted him. I missed that one.
You know what? I wish they had indicted him.
No, they
That's just
haven't-
wishful thinking.
they
That's wishful
haven't
thinking.
indicted
They
him.
have indicted Comey,
Comey they indicted.
but they have also indicted someone else. So what I'm gonna tell you is just wait on Shifty Schiff because I think it's coming.
Yeah.
I think it's coming.
I'm not gonna get my.
You're not going to hold your breath?
Well,
See
no,
what I mean?
I'm not gonna get excited.
When people say nothing's ever happening,
Right.
you've got Comey indicted.
Well, and now what gets me now is now the Democrats are going, Trump's weaponizing the Justice Department. Well, wait.
Oh,
isn't
mean
that
what they did?
Isn't that what the Biden administration did to Trump?
What's good for the goose?
Well, I mean, hey, if it's illegal, it's illegal. I don't care what side you're on.
This is one of the most fun parts of this show for me because I've got people. I need you to give me. Can I get a witness from the congregation? Can we testify that we said on this show, if Trump is guilty, investigate,
Yeah.
and if he's guilty, put him in jail,
Yeah.
right? But if it's not legal and if it's not done the right way, I don't want to hear it. And this is the big one: if you're going to investigate him, investigate them all.
Well, I like the fact that, the prosecutors that were going after Trump are now being indicted for the same things that they went after Trump for.
You got Letitia, you got Letitia James,
with the housing thing. That
and now you have a Trump appointee in John Bolton.
yeah. Well, Bolton's been around forever, though. He was under several administrations.
Multiple administrations.
Right.
And look, this is the fun part. You've got Democrats who are upset that Bolton is being indicted.
Yeah.
Bolton's a Republican.
Right.
So wait a minute.
What does that tell you?
Yeah. This is a great takeaway.
I mean, he's a Republican, but there are such things as rhinos.
well,
you know.
remember we said it earlier on this show. It's all one big club.
Right. And we ain't in it.
Bolton has been part of the club. I'm going to give the Sandlot here forever. Bolton has sent more American men to war, please don't believe me on this, than I care to admit.
Yeah.
And now Bolton is under indictment as well. So to me, this is the big question I have. You got people upset that the DOJ is indicting people. Well, the DOJ has been indicting people, Sandlot reference, forever.
But isn't it their job to
That's what I'm saying.
indict
I mean,
people?
Department of Justice.
Yeah, that's their job, is to indict people.
I have a cousin who is a prosecutor.
Okay.
She wears her DOJ badge proud. That's what they're supposed to do.
They're supposed to investigate crime and prosecute it.
She's a prosecutor in New Orleans. She's been in St. Tammany. She worked for the AG. I mean, she's been all over. That is what, I mean, she is like, I call her the Men in Black.
Yeah, because
Like,
they show up and then
serious-
they weren't there.
I mean, and she walks around, but like, she is like, the jurisdiction and da-da-da-da-da. I mean, like, that's what they're supposed to do. That's their job.
Caleb,
Department of Justice.
you seem deep in thought over there.
I'm just contemplating implications, what can happen from it in the future. And look, the God's honest truth is I hope that there were a ton of indictments out of this. I hope that we see 300 people get indicted. I think that we'll see a handful and that they hope that we're satisfied. That's what I honestly think, because they want to satisfy our thirst for blood at this point and move on.
Only if everyone that needs to be indicted is indicted.
So here's what I will say. And this takes us
Not
back.
just a trickling,
Correct.
Like, whatever you call it. Like,
Token.
yeah,
sprinkle
Token
there you go.
indictment.
Yeah.
Here's what I will say. And we've said this on the show a lot. What makes the United States unique is that we declared from the beginning that the government doesn't give power to the people. People give power to the government.
And more people need to realize that.
And we are in a place where it seems like the government believes that they are just empowered to do whatever they want.
Too many people are taking from the government for the people like us to have control. So what you were talking about earlier
Yep.
about the taxes,
The moral
and
versus the
when you
mandate.
were talking about the government paying for stuff.
Yeah.
We're paying for it, not the government. We pay our taxes.
The government
It
doesn't
goes-
make money.
No, we make the money. We are the government.
Yep.
We are the government.
We give that power to the government, and that's the big takeaway. And that's what people forget.
That's why people need to vote the right way and get out and vote the people who care about not taking care of the people who shouldn't be taken care of.
Well, even then, voting the right way or wrong way, I don't care. Vote.
Well, right, vote.
Go out
Yeah.
and make your voice
I mean,
be heard.
like
and,
the
and
last
stand up
election-
for whatever it is you believe.
The
in.
last election we had, I think we had a 7% turnout on the tax election here in Lafayette.
We're done, Walker?
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Well, you know what? I guess so. Look,
Time for bonus.
cheers, because this Maker's Mark is bourbony
Do
McBourbon.
you like it?
Oh, I love it. It's fantastic.
Because I was kind of afraid to bring the makers. 'cause
No,
it's just kind of like
It is
it's
it is
Maker's.
delicious.
good.
We will talk about it in bonus content. Go to buzzsprout.com, find Implicit Bias Radio, subscribe to the bonus content. We'll talk about the Maker's Mark. We'll probably also talk about the Elijah Craig. We're going to bring in G, so we'll have not cocktail hour, but we will bring Jared Brasso back on so we can talk a little bit about Zero de Saison, how it would pair with this. This is what Implicit Bias Radio is all about. We appreciate you listening. Thanks for joining us. We hope that we will see you next week, and we hope that you do what's right, not what's easy for your implicit bias. Cheers. Have a great week.